Gift. I've got gift, Conor.
What?
Gift. I thought you'd been a very good boy. You've been a very lovely good boy. So
You actually got me a gift?
I got you a gift. It's
What was
good.
it?
It's a good gift. Very lovely boy gift. Only the loveliest boys get them.
Is
It's
it
a
a joke?
Guinness.
Oh my gosh,
I
it
got
is a Guinness.
Glass here.
Hey.
You can have a Guinness tonight. Sorry, that looks like it's got some water stains on the glass, but it's fine.
It's not a Guinness pint glass, but that's fine.
I'm
I'll
so
take
fucking
it.
sorry. Okay.
But thank you.
Look at me being nice, and you're like, it's a good present, but it's not great.
Have to point out the
Fucking
flaw.
hell. Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
It's okay.
What, are you drinking Guinness as well?
I brought one Guinness for myself as well.
Wow, that's not a Guinness glass either. That's a Heineken.
To give you the extent of my generosity, when I was getting some gin today at the bottle shop, they had these for $3 each, and I said, you know what?
Wow, that's good.
Let's. I'll just get a couple of Guinness cans for me and the boy for the show.
Do you know how to pour a Guinness properly?
You do it sort of on the side, and then you go straight, and then you straighten up.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Mine's not going to be
This
great,
is fucking huge.
but I'm also not that fussy.
It looks like the World Cup medal.
You're the World Cup of
Alright.
podcast hosts.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Guinness.
So let's see. Connor's going to judge
favourite.
my pour. I'd second guessed getting you on because I was like, oh fuck, I'm going to do something wrong with it. And your Guinness connoisseur.
I'm the Guinness World Book of Records of Guinness facts.
Yeah, I did this pour terrible, but
Yeah, I bore people with
your Doctor Who talk.
well, that and my Guinness knowledge. At my local, there's actually people who like know like how to pour and who don't.
Yeah.
I'll specifically pick them. Which is a bit weird if you think about it, but I'm a bit of a weird person.
Yeah,
There you go.
we're both fucking weirdos. How about that? Okay, today, everybody, if I just quickly stick to the script, we are talking about the Witchfinders.
There's a script.
Well, the script, it's the run sheet, whatever you want to call
The
it.
shit finders, more like.
The Shitfinders, we've got a couple more topics to get into as well. We're going to talk about some characters that we want to see return. Maybe a character that is returning, apparently, according to the world.
Sorry for my show notes. Yeah.
Your show notes that you haven't read.
No, I thought it'd be fun to talk about a said person who might be returning.
You mean what you
Who.
scribbled onto the show notes? Is that what you're...
Oh, you mean that? Oh, you mean that?
That,
yeah. I have scribbled it with my awful handwriting. Yeah.
So don't fear anyone. It's all happening. There will be Doctor Who talk coming right up. But first, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50doctor. Conor, where should they subscribe to us?
On YouTube at the 50%.2 podcast.
How many subscribers do we want?
A million, but we'll start with 1,000. Okay.
I was going to say, I was like, why do you have to think about this?
That sounds bad. I was going to say I want more than 1,000. That sounds like we're just doing this for the. Do you get joy out of this still, Aidan? I do.
Yeah, well, yep. You can also see my Ted Lasso podcast. We just recorded.
Which has ended.
Yes, the season finale.
It might be all that you get. 3 seasons.
Ah, very, very clever.
Yeah, that's my.
But yeah, all 12 episodes of our first season of that podcast are now streaming over on the Spotifys and the YouTubes. So you can check that out if you like Ted Lasso. And we're probably going to come back to it and look at those old seasons along the way at some point.
And that's when I'll come on and do that.
Yeah, one day. Yep. That's cool. Let's move on.
Fuck, I got to do around here, honestly.
And if you want to check out something that I've done recently, I've got a little bit of a sketch that I directed, and I'm going to link it down below.
It's a bit of a sketch comedy, you know, like everyone's.
It's a bit of fun. It's a bit more drama than comedy, to be honest. And we probably should have gone a bit more comedy.
Aidan's being modest, okay? He didn't tell anyone he put it out.
Well, we didn't need to put it out.
Tweet about it.
Because it was
Instagram about it.
It was literally a 4-person crew, and it was for this larger project thing that we're working on in the background. But we just thought, why not just throw it onto our production company? I hate saying that because it's just like a group of
What's
us
the
who work
production
together.
company called?
Mystery Moon Pictures. That's what we call
Mystery
a
Moon,
company that makes the things. And we just thought we'd chuck it on there so anyone that wants to see it can see it, and that way the actors can share it around.
We'll link it in Maliption.
I will link it, and also in the
I'll watch it as
Maliption is if you guys ever just fancy, giving back to the gang, giving back to me and Conor. I hate plugging it like this, but
This is a hard thing to talk about.
I know, we got a Ko-fi set up in the description. It's been there for a few weeks, and we just thought we'd just let it out, let you know.
No one knows it's there because we didn't talk about it. That's how modest we are.
I know, but I don't like being like, give me money. But
no, I don't think it's. I don't know if it's like that. It's like if people want to give us a little tip, they can.
yeah, if you want to buy us a coffee or more likely a beer, then they can do that.
Well, I do have to Uber home, so it could cover the Uber fare.
And I pay for Zoom every month. That
Do you really?
I do.
And also, you picked me up in your car.
Fuel.
And
My fuel light came on when I was driving you here.
Yeah,
Actually,
so
maybe because I couldn't afford fuel. Maybe that's why it came on.
Yeah, that's why we need Ko-Fi.
Yeah, we need. Yeah.
Well, think about it. It's like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes back.
Yep.
Kinda. That's like 10 minutes every single week.
That's a lot of weeks.
In 6 weeks, that's an hour of driving.
Wow.
Okay.
Damn.
If you drive for an hour, I even want. And with the current living crisis, Aidan,
This is crazy. This is getting out of hand.
give us money. No, I'm
Connor's like, we're so modest.
Nah, yeah, we're so modest. No, you don't have. You never feel like you have to, but if you do want to support,
It's just an option there if anyone's ever wanted to
Yeah.
give back before, and so that's there. Do with that as you will. We're not that fucking fast. We're gonna keep chatting shit anyways.
Do it.
Why would you want to pay for this?
do it.
All right,
We're gonna be so mad if no one does.
let's get in to the show, my guy.
Yeah.
50 50 50 50 50 50 50 50 50% podcast.
Do you want to cheers me?
Well, I was gonna say, in your expert opinion, would the Guinnesses be ready to drink by now?
Yeah, you gotta let it sit a little bit, but you know,
We're good. Cheers.
just,
Guinness is so easy, man, to
oh,
drink.
I love it.
I couldn't drink loads of them because they're just. I don't really get anything out of them, but they're just. Maybe they're calming. There's a calming aura
It's
about
a good
Guinness.
Sunday drink, you know.
Right.
I think I've done this.
I don't think I've ever drunk on a Sunday.
You're not living.
Well,
I try to do this on Saturday when I went down the pub. I said, kind of a can of Guinness, and they were like, "I'm sorry, we've run out." And I was like, "All right, fine, I'll have it on the tap." And they're like, "What can I ask? Why?" And I was like, "Thank you for asking." Okay,
Oh no.
the keg isn't being cooled. The pipes haven't been cleaned. You're not letting it sit right. Nah, I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, my preference is like this. And, you know, I'm actually like, when it comes to like workers and stuff, like I'm always like
Terrible, yeah.
extra nice because I know what it's like to work like in places and it's not easy. So I'm always extra nice. Sometimes in my whole life, I'm a lot nicer than the people who are serving me. But I just like to be a nice person.
I find that, hey.
Okay? And I hate that. 'Cause I'm like, look, I understand this sucks, but I don't know. I know we work and like, I always have to be like, even if I'm not feeling myself or anything like that, I always have to be like, I'm always super nice around clients.
Yeah. Well,
Never a dick.
after 7 years in fast food, I understand
okay, that is something.
how terrible people can treat you.
Yeah, that
And
is worse.
So
than
now,
anything
no
I've
matter
worked
how
in.
shit of a day I'm having, no matter how shit the person is to me that is serving me,
Yeah.
I'm always
me
got to say
too.
goodbye with a big old smile and thank you very much.
I've only yelled at a client once. One time.
What? Be like, get the fuck out of my house. And
He just pushed me, man. I was not having it.
yeah.
He asked me a question and I answered it, and then I was answering the question, but I was like starting with something else, and then, like he said in like a really low tone, like, "No, Conor, I was asking you about this,"
Ooh,
and
that
I was
kinda
like,
condescending vibe.
and I was like, and I was getting to it. I'm telling you about, and I kind of lost it, which is not professional, but hey, once in 5 years. I only had one complaint when I worked as a checkout.
Yeah.
Chatting up the older. She wasn't old. She was younger than me. Sorry.
You were.
She was. I think I was like 17. She was like 16. And we were just like chatting, and like we forgot. We didn't see someone was there, and then they literally went and complained. I'm like, bro, we're like kids working. Like, who cares? You had to wait 5 seconds.
That's how them bloody mums like to put their foot down and
Who said it was a woman? Aidan.
well, no, I was going for that like Karen. I was going for that like
it
Karen
was a
vibe.
woman and it was Karen.
Is what I mean.
Which is fine because I've
the
had
soccer mum.
I've had men complain as well. Very.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, men
They like-
and women-
They like to get a bit like
Everyone.
Nah, mate. Nah, that's not what it's like. No.
No.
They're like the classic bloke like drinks VB, like probably wears like a tank top, like watches the footy,
Yeah.
watches footy reruns.
Yep.
Even though the game's like been played like 6 years ago.
You know, do you ever like?
It's probably what you
Have
do
you
for your games. Like
I've watched one Freo game 4 times, but only the highlights, like the 15-minute cut down. That was that elimination final at Optus. It just fills me with joy. But have you ever like seen at like JB Hi-Fi you can buy like box sets of like
Yeah.
the Eagles, the best games, and it's like what who? Why?
They do the premiere. They sell the final game, don't they? Sell the grand final.
Often,
game.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
still do, but they did for a while. Yeah. I like enjoy like seeing like on YouTube because I'm sub to my footy team's YouTube channel, and every now and then they'll post like a 5-minute. Like, oh, remember when this happened? And it just shows like some clips from a good game or something. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of fun. But I couldn't watch a full football game.
I
back.
randomly today, West Coast Eagles, who are like the main team. I am for it, by the way, but they're like the main team. They won a grand final. WA. They won a grand final in 2017?
2019, I think, was when they did it.
2019. And like it was like super close. And this is so unlike me. I was like, I remember that like last 2 minutes was like really tight, and I rewatched it for some reason. I don't know what came over me because I don't even watch AFL. That's okay. Aidan's wearing all purple for the.
This is my Fremantle jumper, actually. It's got a little Freo logo.
Sticker
on the laptop there. Go Sports.
All the British viewers who are like 80% of our audience are going, what the fuck
are they on about?
What are you talking about?
All right, well, let's talk about some Doctor Who then, Connor.
Yes, I'd love to. That's why we're here.
Let me list off perhaps some Doctor Who characters who have appeared in the show before.
They better have.
We got two answers I want from you here. Okay, answer A is whether or not you want this character back. Maybe we'll go on like a scale of 1 to 10. How much do you want this character back? Okay. And you can't just give out 10s and 10s and 10s, right?
Okay.
You got to be scarce.
I want them back so bad.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And then answer B needs to be between 1 and 10. How likely you think it'll be that they're back? Okay.
And this is just for Shooty's era or the 60th as well?
This, maybe, I mean, yeah, let's say 60th and Shooty's era because I guess they're kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know what's in store for either of those. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, go on then.
Let's go.
All right.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Osgood. I think this one's a bit obvious, but...
I'd say like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah?
If I see her, it's fine. If I don't, I don't.
Okay, yeah.
Likelihood? I don't know. I think if Kate's coming back, I think maybe like a 4
out of 10. Really?
Yeah, maybe a 5 out of 10.
I would go, do I want her back? Maybe like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Whether I think she's likely to be back, a 9 out of 10.
Oh, well, if we're going off the Fury as a unit spin-off, I definitely think
there's that, but then we've also seen like Kate and Unit on set and stuff. Like, I would be surprised if Osgood wasn't there. She's such like an easy way in the 60th for them to just get her to wear like scarves and shit like that, you know?
I'm thinking a light 6 to a strong 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rani and Clyde from the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Oh, I'd love to see them. I'd put that a solid like I can't say 10. I'd say a good 8.5, 9.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
10.
Likely?
5 maybe.
Okay, I'm going
10.
I'm gonna go 2 out of 10.
Really?
I think because I'm 90% sure that this like Rani like audio Big Finish spin-off.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this was all commissioned post Russell taking over. And you know, like when we had Chris on the show a few weeks ago, he was saying that they planned this stuff and they need to get permission
from the
showrunner. And I feel like if Russell was planning on doing stuff with them, he wouldn't have so easily palmed them off to Big Finish and give them big character things that have happened, like them dealing with Elizabeth Sladen or Sarah Jane's death.
Yeah.
Like for them to deal with that in an audio drama, but then he's planning on bringing them into the main show. I just think that's
a good point.
A red flag.
It's hard to like kind of answer these when like there could be like spin-offs as well, which we don't know will happen either. But I'd absolutely love to see them back.
Let's go Freema Agyeman, Martha Jones.
Freema for me gets a good
10. It's got to be 10.
Can I say 10?
You can go 10.
I feel bad for saying 10. I'd say 10. Yeah. I think Freema, I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I think Freema got done quite dirty back when she like first came into the show. Everyone was really hung up on Rose and
even Russell when he was writing it. Every Freema line was like no, every David line was like, I miss Rose.
Yeah.
And Martha's like, let's go do a me thing. And he's like, but you're not Rose.
Not that you're replacing her. Literally. It's like lines like that. And I think it was great that Russell like casted like a black actress in the time that it was. I think it's great. And I think she's gone on to do great stuff. She's a super lovely person. I'd love to see her back. Yeah, solid 10. And another good thing is, I definitely think she is going to be coming back.
Yeah.
So I'd say a good 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for her coming back.
I was going to say 7 out of 10 for her coming back. Yeah.
I think there's a good chance, and I probably couldn't be happier. I really love rewatching the show for the podcast. I think she was a very underrated companion. I think she's great.
Yeah, and definitely the best companion of the RTD era for me. I
agree.
I'm keen for them to do this Donna thing. Like, I'm so on board with that. But if someone like a year or 2 years ago was like, which do you want back, Rose, Martha, Donna, I would have said Martha. That's where I sit with her.
She definitely like had almost like the least to do almost. Like we need more from her, I think, and that'd be great to see again.
She just like her departure left such an open door, and they did use that a bit, like her in Torchwood, her in like Stolen Earth, Journey's End.
Yeah, she's like working for Unit and stuff,
and she was meant to rock up in like Sarah Jane Adventures or something.
Children
I think Children of Earth she was meant to, but I think she was she also meant to be in Sarah Jane Adventures or something, did someone say?
Probably.
Because I think that she was going to be like the Nick Fury that like bounces between the shows, I think. which is cool.
I love that. I think she'd be a great Nick Fury.
Oh, she couldn't do Children of Earth because she just started this
Law and
new
Order
show.
UK.
Yes.
Yeah, which went on to do great numbers.
That's exactly right. It's like how we're getting an NCIS Sydney.
Oh God, there's so many. You can't. Yeah. I think Xavier loves them.
He does. He loves a little crime drama show, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit you up with another one.
Yeah.
Let's go classic, shall we?
Okay.
I'll give you a classic companion that you know.
Yes, I know all of them, man.
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
Well, okay. How about Doctor Who TV movie? Grace.
Oh God.
I think she's called Grace, right? The girl companion in the TV movie.
She's so memorable. Aidan forgot her name.
That's right. Yeah. With her 84 minutes of screen time.
How much do I want her to come back? I'd say 3 out of 10 because I think it would be a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
All these years later. Likelihood? Probably a 1 or a 2.
Yeah. I'm going to say a 0.5.
Yeah. Did she even come back for Big Finish stuff?
I don't know that she has. I've got a feeling she hasn't. But I could be wrong.
Weird. I wonder why not.
Because I think I remember Googling that and being shocked that she hadn't. But I could be very wrong about that.
Okay.
But McGann has had some great Big Finish exclusive companions, which is cool. I started listening to the War Doctor's Big Finish today with, not with John Hurt, with the actor that's playing the younger version of him.
Yeah, I've heard he's great, yeah.
And yeah, it's been good. I listened to the first 2 episodes. I had 6 hours of driving today. So I
oh, wow.
Put a couple of hours into Big Finish.
Have you checked out the actual John Hurt ones?
No, I haven't, which I was like tossing it up, but the idea of the early War Doctor excited me more than just like more of the John Hurt War Doctor that we saw in The Day of the Doctor.
Right. Okay.
So like seeing him beginning, like it literally picks up right where the Night of the Doctor finishes off with like him on, is it Khan?
Yeah. That's awesome.
First episode's all set on Khan.
Well, that's sick.
Yeah. So that kind of drew me there. I was weighing it up which one to go for. So let's throw another one in the mix, shall we? Another classic companion. Melanie, or as we like to call her, Screamy Girl.
All right. I don't want to be mean. I mean, no disrespect to any of the actors in this. I'm more basing it off characters. Mm-hmm. I found her character extremely annoying in Trial of the Time Lords, which was a hard enough story to get through as it was. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen her stuff with McCoy, which is the Rani story, his first story.
Yeah, she's in that one, and
wherever that's called.
She's in McCoy's entire first season, which is 4 stories.
Okay, so I haven't seen them. Granted, so how much do I want to see her come back? I'd say a good 6 or like a 7 because I think like it's not all about me, and I think fans would really love it. Do I think she's coming back? Considering it's the only leak that seemed to slip through the cracks, I'd say a good 8.
I'll be disappointed if she's not in it, like because the leaks have got me hyped for it. Yeah. I'd say I'm an 8 out of 10 for wanting her to be in it.
Yeah.
For some reason, like I think because we got like really good Tegan and Ace content, and as much as I love to see them back, it's like I'm not too fussed about seeing them come back too soon. Mm-hmm. So seeing someone like Mel, who was a little bit shafted with her TV time on Doctor Who, I think seeing her come back would be awesome. And I think she does get like a little bit better throughout the McCoy run.
I'm sure, yeah.
She's still like screamy scream lady.
I'm sure. Yeah, it'll be good for... I think there's like it leaked, and I generally do just think this is one of the leaks that happened to just slip through the cracks. Like it seems pretty legit. Mm-hmm. Like you've been talking about that for ages.
Yeah, since I was born. Yeah.
The 60th when Aidan was born.
I was thinking about it. My first words were 60th anniversary. Mel.
No, you just screamed. Well, you were screaming.
Yeah.
Were you screaming when you came out?
Probably.
Think a lot of people. Yeah. I was watching Beau's Afraid. It's like he didn't even scream when he came out the wound, and I was like, that's a bit weird. There's something going on here.
Something wrong with that kid.
Yeah, it was either Beau's Afraid or Hereditary. It was either one of the Ari Aster films that line's in, and I'm like, you can't trust the baby doesn't scream when it comes out the old
thing.
Triangle.
Or
Stomach.
triangle.
A C-section, I think it's called.
The old
my
cupcake.
mum had a C-section for both of the kids.
2 last ones for you.
Yeah.
Let's go Vinder. Do a bit of Chibnall.
I personally really like his character. And I think insert name here, Aidan, is really great.
Jacob. Yeah,
something.
Jake. Yeah, my boy Jacob.
Yeah,
Jacob, it's like Anderson.
Jacob Anderson's on that? Anderson Jacob?
Sure.
One of those, yeah. I think he's really great. Would I see him come back? Yeah, I'd say a good 5 out of...
Yeah, 5 or 6 for me. I enjoyed it.
Will he come back? 2?
Yeah.
By the way, like, he was in, like, Power of the Doctor, and, like, I think it was a perfect example of, like, when a character doesn't need to be there, but they just are.
Nothing, yeah.
But it was Jacob Anderson, yeah. I think it was really good to just see him. I just think he's a charismatic dude.
He's got a good presence about him.
He does, yeah. And I think Vinder was a really good highlight for Flux, and I'd love to see him again. Will it happen? Probably not, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Love it.
Actually, before I get into the last one more bonus one. Gwen.
Okay, this is a good one. I know you said when... God, I'm so bad at names this
Eve
week.
Miles.
No, I know Eve Miles. No, I meant...
Russell T. Davies.
The woman...
David Tennant.
Who's David Tennant again? The woman who
Jodie
played
Whittaker.
Susie, you fuck.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, great. Insert name here, Aidan. Making your life a bit harder. No,
I'm not inserting the names there.
Yeah, fuck you. Of course you're not, lazy twat.
One day Conor will edit one of these episodes.
I edit the clips, which is not easy.
You actually
Anyway,
put a lot of photos into the clips, so I can appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Talk.
I'm trying to. You texted the night that it got released that the actress played Susie's coming back, and you're like, "Oh, rip Eve Miles." I think the reason why they haven't recast Eve Miles is because she is coming back. So, how much would I like to see her? I'd say a good 7.5 to 8. The chance of her coming back, I'd say a good 6.5.
I would love...
Torture season 5.
No, because I just think that name now comes with like just a crowd. Like people watching from home don't understand the whole John Barrowman thing, and like general audience. I mean, I would love like Gal Pal unit spin-off where it's like Osgood, Kate, Martha, Gwen.
Girls get it done.
Girls get it done, mate.
Call that.
I'll be there. I'll be watching those 4 sisters absolutely slay, and I'm keen for that.
I think it's a good idea, but like, what about the unit spin-off, Aidan?
That's what I'm saying. Those 4, they work at unit.
That's
the unit spin-off. Yeah,
I see. It won't be Tortured season.
No, it's unit.
I feel like you did explain that. Maybe I was just drifting away.
That's okay.
In my own daydream.
That's okay. This is only a podcast where we talk and listen and jump off of what each other say.
Not listening and then going, did you just say that? Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd say the likelihood of her coming back, I want to say 5. I don't...
Really? You're that...
I think maybe like later in Studio's run, I, for some reason, just don't vibe that she's going to be there early on. Do I want her back? I'd say like an 8, 9.
Well, the last we heard from Gwen was a line from Jack.
Ah, yes.
Gwen just took off a Dalek's head with a motorbike helmet. Because apparently, Dalekanium, the skin of a Dalek, can get smacked off
by a motorbike helmet.
But it can't get impaled by bullets. So
don't question it.
Thank you, Chris Chibnall, for that.
I look forward to seeing Gwen hopefully return one day.
Gwen.
And by the way, if you guys, because we've still got Miracle Day to review, we've done the first 3 seasons of Torchwood. If you guys are wanting us to do Miracle Day pretty soon, let us know, because I think it'll probably be on the cards pretty soon. So if you love it, write I want Miracle Day in the comments or on Twitter or something.
I'm going to stop you there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I disagree.
You don't want us to do it?
No, I think we should do it. I just think that, like, you know, maybe we should wait till we run out of episodes.
Well, yeah, I think we do season 11 to 12 first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because, by the way, I was thinking in the car today, we've reviewed Revolution. Always get those two.
Not Resolution.
Are we going to re-review it, or are we just going to leave it?
I think we just leave it because we've reviewed it.
So we're going to leave it.
I think.
Are you going to watch it though? I'll watch it.
Probably, yeah. I reckon down the line we do like a Revolution of the Daleks Revisited. Like maybe that can be like a bonus episode down the line.
I think it's cute. We leave it. I think it's cool, and it's like a bit of a trip back in time because you're going to be like, hey, the review for this did come out, if you want to watch it, you go back to 2009,
21, 2nd of January, we put that out.
Absolutely bonkers.
Okay, last one for you, Connor, and this works as a perfect little segue. Alex Kingston as River Song. Would you like to see her back? And how likely, and this is when you can use your little facts from the interwebs that you read, how likely do you think she'll be coming back?
Okay, I like Alex Kingston. I think she's cool.
Slay.
I'm not a huge River Song fan. I'm
Hater.
a bit of a hater. I wouldn't say I'm a hater. I'm more just like, I've never really loved her character that much.
Connor the hater.
Inside text there.
You can do that in your clip.
Connor the hater. No, I think that she's great, but I've never loved her character. I think that Ryan is so clever and smart. Something about it just never really vibed with me. Vinny agrees.
No vibes. No vibes for Connor.
How much I want her to come back? I'd say a good 5 out of 10. And that's going to annoy some people, probably everybody. Chances of her coming back? I'm probably also going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Do you want to say your fact before I say the news?
I would say that I would... Do I want her back? Okay, in Doctor Who, do I want her back? 2 out of 10.
Well, I feel like it ended so well.
I think you don't need more. The more you add to her...
perfect.
Like, they've somehow made adding to her more and more work so far. But every time I just see, like, a big finish where she meets another doctor and stuff, I'm always just like... I just think we're losing the plot of what all that stuff was. We lose the impact of it. If it was just a cameo in the 60th, therefore, if she, like, rocks up in the final fight, that's totally fine. Maybe she just, like, sees the doctor from afar but doesn't actually interact with him. That kind of thing would work for me. If she got her own spin-off... Maybe like 7 out of 10. Likelihood, 5 out of 10. Hit me with your knowledge from the Twitter sphere. Or might have been Doctor Who magazine or something. You talk.
I don't think it's Doctor Who magazine. I think it's just some like convention where they ask actress or actor from Doctor Who, are they coming back? And they go...
She's been doing Doctor Who magazine interviews for the last like 2 issues, so I think it could be from there. But
I retract my statement.
I also could be very wrong.
Well, look, if you're going to get asked... You know, we got to understand these are actors who are needing work, and it's now a Disney Plus show. I'm sure if you get asked if you're going to do a new season of Doctor Who or a spin-off, you're going to say yes. She said something along the lines of like, I don't think River Song's story is particularly over, but she could easily be talking about, like you said, like big finish stories or... I know a few of you nerds like to read comics, which is fine. A few of you fucking nerds. And even you bigger nerds like to read books like Aidan, which is fine. I just think it ended perfectly.
I hate that you said read books like Aidan and I wiggled my glasses like I'm an academic.
Nah, you do.
Which I'm not.
I actually do respect you read books.
Dude, I've been reading the same book for like 5 months.
Is it?
My Bob Odenkirk book.
Okay. Funny drama.
Comedy drama.
Close.
And I have a Doctor Who Target book, I've got The Writer's Tale, and I've got Jimmy Carr's autobiography all lined up to read that I just haven't
signed.
Got around to yet. Yeah, it's signed.
Do you reckon he sneezed on it?
I hope he shat on it.
Okay.
And then I'll lick it. Anything else to say on that?
Yeah, no. One last note. I would just say, like, I know River Song, when we first saw her story did technically end because that was her last episode, technically. We're talking about canon-wise. But I really do think that, like, as someone who didn't really love her character, I do think that the Husbands of River Song is, like, a great ending.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And sometimes you just got to leave things how they are.
Yeah.
And it will go down history better rather than just to bring it back.
For me, it's like her interactions with the Doctor need to stop. Like, I think there's a world of stories you can tell
That's
of
where a spin-off
Song.
come in handy.
Yeah, but you don't need to force it across in with the Doctor again.
Yeah.
And I think like a spin-off in the same tone as the Husbands of River Song would be perfect.
Tony? Yeah, Sopranos.
Okay.
Tony.
It's that time of the day.
It's about that time.
It's about downtown. It's time that we talk about The Witchfinders.
The Shitfinders.
Which is the 8th episode of the 11th series of the British science fiction television program Doctor Who, written by Joy Wilkinson and directed by Sally Abrahamian again. The first broadcast on BBC One on the 25th of November 2018. Wow, this is like the fucking 55th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
It came out 2 days after the 55th anniversary.
What a way to celebrate 55 years.
A special. In the episode, the 13th Doctor travels to the 17th century Lancashire alongside her companions Graham O'Brien, Ryan Sinclair, and Yasmin Khan. I don't know, Lancashire just made me put on that voice. I don't know why. Find themselves in the middle of a witch hunt held by a local landowner. Episode was watched by 7.21 million viewers and received generally positive reviews from critics. That's a pretty good viewing figure. The Series 11 held up pretty well with the views.
I was literally about to say that it really did well. I think her whole era did really well.
Yeah, but this first season in particular did very well.
Yeah.
Especially because this show was really coming out when that market was shifting and shows are getting less views. And I know that was reflective later in her run.
Absolutely.
But like this early season is doing strong. What did you think in 2018 when this episode came out, Condog? Sleepy Connor. He fell asleep.
Yeah, man. Woof.
Woof?
Woof, woof.
Woof.
Yeah, man. What a snooze fest. And I saw... And still to this day, a lot of people really loved this episode. And good for them, is all I have to say about that. How about you, Aidan, when you watched it?
I
watched
remember,
it on your laptop with the song coming in like every time.
I think I did the first time, the first time I watched it.
Bloody
and I think I was
what
like...
a viewing experience that is.
This was in the morning when I put it on, first thing in the morning. And I was like, oh, it was a bit of a snooze fest, wasn't it? But it was fine. And then late at night, I was like, fuck yeah, I want to watch that again. And so I watched it twice in one day, which... I think I've only ever done it with like that episode, and I did it with Power of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I think other than that, maybe when I was a kid, some like David episodes or something. But that's I think the only time I've watched an episode twice in a day.
Are you okay? Like
no.
Do I need to check your temperature? Like
and I still remember like watching it the second time, and being like, yeah, that was a bit naff, but hey, it was fine.
Okay, well, good for you. That's good.
2023 though.
Yeah. This was Tuesday night I watched it.
Could be a different story. Like we said, this episode is written by Joy Wilkinson, who pretty sure this is her only episode she did for Doctor Who. I don't think she came back in series 12.
Her name was Joy.
Joy.
As the science say.
Yeah, she only wrote one episode of Doctor Who, but she did write 36 episodes for Doctors. So
that's
just some crossover words there.
I think
and Casualty.
Okay, and Holby City?
Holby City. And Land Girls. And Ma'am.
Great.
And Lockwood and Co.
Okay.
Oh, she's writing and directing a feature film called Seven Keys. That's kind of cool.
Just like 12 Monkeys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm sure I got an... what was it called? Demons of the Punjab.
An email?
No, I'm sure that the director of Demons of the Punjab has had... a feature film come out like a month ago. I'm sure. Oh no, this was Jamie Childs. So who the fuck? Okay, you keep talking. Let me figure this out.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. What did you think this year? Tell me.
I just got done editing the clips, and I normally watch episodes on Tuesdays now because if I don't, I normally go out Wednesdays and Thursday we film the show, and if I leave it to Thursday, I'm leaving it a bit close. So yeah, I watched it on Tuesday.
Yep.
And I do want to give this episode a little bit of slack. I don't think I'm in a Doctor Who mood this week. And I'll tell you why. Because last week, in a row, I watched Kablam, Midnight, and Stolen Earth. And the only reason I skipped Turn Left is because I watched it on the Saturday. So I was in a big Doctor Who mood. I think something about this week is just not... I love the show, obviously, still. It's not like I've gone off it.
You hate Doctor Who.
I hate Doctor Who, obviously. I think some weeks you just don't feel like watching a certain show. So I watched this, and then last night I watched Amy's Choice, and I love that episode, and even I wasn't into that much. But still, I've always loved Amy's Choice.
Yep.
This episode, I've never liked. I'm sorry to say this. Again, I know a lot of people love this episode. I thought this episode was so... boring.
Damn, you're not a happy boy.
Boring. You know what? I know we're going to talk about Succession a bit at the end. The Succession final was an hour and a half, okay? It flew by. You didn't feel like an hour and a half.
Yeah, felt good.
This episode felt longer, and it was 45 minutes, okay? I swear, I'm not making that up. It's 45 minutes. It felt longer than the Succession final, which was an hour and a half.
Double the length?
Yes, that's how much...
But it felt longer.
It was so boring. I literally paused it and it had like 20 minutes left, and I was like, I can't do it. I just thought it was so I have some issues with it, but I'll let you speak, peasant.
Let me.
I'll poke you with a stick.
Peasant. Ow! Not the stick again.
Go on, talk, Greg.
Ow! Just a note. The director that I was thinking of, and I got it mixed up with Vinay Patel because Vinay obviously wrote Demons of the Punjab, also co-wrote Fugitive of the Jadoon, whose director is Nida Manzoor, who recently had her feature film Polite Society come out, which she
wrote
and directed.
Round of applause. That's awesome.
And it's meant to be pretty decent, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was hearing like a film podcast that I listened to. They were like, "Yeah, she's directed a couple episodes of Doctor Who before," and I was like,
awesome.
"Excuse me?" And so I jumped in, and I knew there was something in Jodie's era she'd directed.
That's like Thingy doing that horse movie with Tony Collette. What's in it?
Aerosland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, Witchfinders. So I watched this time last week when we just finished recording.
Wow.
I was
in
like,
a Who mood, unlike me.
Well, I think I was going to do some stuff, and then I got distracted, played some FIFA, and was like, I don't have time to watch a movie anymore. So I was like, I'll watch the next Doctor Who. So chucked on Witchfinders, got 20 minutes in, and I was like, I'm asleep. So I turned it off.
You too. Okay.
And then I put it on yesterday.
Oh my god! So you waited like 6 days?
I put it back to the start though.
Okay. That's you're a good boy. Okay, that's good.
Well, I had like exactly an hour on my hands, so I was like, quickly just chuck that on. And I'm so indifferent to this episode. I think it's like, I actually think it looks really nice. It's like very gloomy and blue and grey.
It doesn't seem.
But I think it does that look well. It's like I always say, like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's what started that Marvel. You know how like Phase 2 and 3 they did this washed out grey look for every single movie, and I think Winter Soldier started it. But I think Winter Soldier suited it, and I think there's episodes that can pull off a more washed out look. And I think this episode was an example. And it wasn't washed out. There were still bits of colour, pops of colour. So I enjoyed the episode. Could I really tell you much about it? Probably fucking not.
I agree with you. I think some scenes look really good. Mm-hmm. Particularly, I think there was a scene in like a manor, like a mansion. Mm-hmm. It was really nice, like candle lit, kind of similar line to what we have right now. If you're listening
How homely.
On audio, fucking that's your problem. Sorry, this is what it looks like. Okay, I think that looked really nice, but there was just like for someone who's not in like a Doctor Who mood, like I was this week, it was so hard to get into it, and it was very gloomy and cold and misty.
I think something huge for me was I thought, whilst once again Yaz and Ryan didn't have a lot to do, they had some things to do. Yaz in particular had a couple of scenes, and I thought Graham had some good stuff. I thought the Doctor was really good this episode. I thought Jodie was really good. There's a scene where she was talking to King James, and she was like, she had her arms roped together, the wrists roped together, and I thought that scene was great. And I thought it was directed really well. They did like this little tilt on King James in that scene. That was awesome.
So many tilts this episode. You know that?
I'm on board with you got to shake things up sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I like to.
And I think
just a lot of tilts, you know?
The supporting cast, it's not as bad as fucking Idiot's Lantern Man, where every shot was a Dutch tilt. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was bananas watching that again. But yeah, I thought the supporting cast were all really good, both the way the characters were written, but also the actors. I think this is probably one of the strongest supporting cast in a Doctor Who episode this season.
One of my biggest issues. Okay, I agree. Supporting cast is great. The actress who plays like what's her name? I'm sure you can find on there. She's like
Becca. Becca's the witchy. Like she's the
the town. Oh no, you're right. Sorry.
She's like she owns the manor.
Yeah, You're right. Yeah,
Becca.
So she is in Happy Valley. She's also in Benidorm. 2 shows I've watched. She's great actress. Okay, please, Doctor Who. What are you doing to me? This is what you do? This is what you do with her? She's great. She could have done so much more.
I thought she was good in this.
So much more.
Maybe she has more range outside of this. That would be
absolutely
more impressive.
No, I just think there could have been like she would be a great villain. I know she's a villain.
She was a villain.
A better villain, I guess.
Right.
And Alan Cummins, I think his name is. The one cummed over that. And I think he's a great actor, but and he's good in this.
I loved him in this.
What's his King James the fucking
his energy was fucking let's go Pride Month.
Yeah.
Like I was all about that shit.
I like how he wants to take Ryan home with him to London.
I know,
It's funny.
This is something sus going on there, King James.
It is Pride Month, Aidan.
Slay.
Shout out to our homies.
That's right.
Another thing I hated though.
Okay.
This really bugged me.
Is this going into Pride Month? Are you talking about?
Absolutely not. Fuck you.
Just framing you up to the terrible.
How dare you? I love Pride Month.
Of course.
Slay, kings, queens, and all in between. My tribe, I'm about
Couldn't have
about.
said it better myself.
It's about the Witchfinders.
Yeah, talk to me about the Witchfinders. That's why we're here.
Caca. Alright, I posted about this on Instagram. You probably skipped it.
Yeah, I definitely have no idea what you're talking about, so I definitely did.
You're such a twat. I like all your tweets about fucking
Yeah,
on the Doctor
you never
Who
like my
account.
tweets. On the Doctor Who account, yeah, because you're like, I've got to support the show. Okay, move on. Tell me your point.
Fuck you.
We're meandering.
Okay, so this really bugged me, okay?
Conor being bugged by something?
This woman's nan dies in the episode, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine.
Dead.
Sad.
Dead.
Sad.
Drowned.
Sad.
Underwater.
Sad.
Buried.
Sad.
Mud.
Dead.
Dead.
Sad.
Yes.
Alright, they're walking away as the group, the fam. Hate that name.
Doctor's
Doctor's like, oh, what's that? Is that a squirrel? Is that a stick? Oh, God, the sky's blue. What? Anyway, that's my impression of Jodie Whittaker.
No, it should be, I'm walking. I'm climbing upstairs.
There is a house over there.
There's a house.
There's windows.
This is an audio drama.
It is in the day. It's raining a bit.
I am walking alongside Graham O'Brien, Yasmin Khan, and Ryan Sinclair.
Graham, Ryan, Yaz, you are here with me.
Yaz goes, yes, Doctor, I am with you. And so is Ryan and Graham.
I'm a police officer. I'm a bus driver. I work in a factory. Literally every episode. Alright, this is what annoyed me to my point. This woman's nan died, okay?
Yeah.
And Yaz, of all people, says to the Doctor, I'll go talk to her. Ryan lost Grace just 7 episodes ago.
That's a good call.
Why did he not go? Or, it's fine, they could have done a scene where it's like, Ryan could have been like, it's too soon for me. I can't be around someone who's going through the same thing as me. Do a scene like that. Why, when Chris Chibnall read the script, not go, can we switch them over or add a scene? It's 45 minutes. They have 50-minute episodes.
Yeah.
What? Am I getting too into it?
No. I love your point. I just think it's a really good point.
It's 45 minutes. There's normally 50-minute episodes, okay?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it. Okay? I don't understand that. Why didn't Chris go, this would be such a great scene for even to have like Graham go or Ryan just like...
Well, of course, if Ryan did go, then we wouldn't have had the best line of the episode.
What?
Which was, why is there's so many tissues around? Because she cries herself to sleep.
Yeah, she's got that weird ink on her eyes. Oh, it's big Doctor Energy.
That's my big Doctor Energy moment of the
You
week.
smile a lot for her
It
segment.
It cracked me up. Like, I watched that scene twice because it's early on in the episode. And so, yeah, when they're like, why is there so many tissues around? And Ryan's like, maybe she cries herself to sleep. Looks around so chuffed, like, look, what a good joke. Yeah. That's the only thing I remember him saying this episode, by the way. But it's big Dr. Angie. I thought it was hilarious. That's the highlight of the episode for me.
Now, if you see tissues in a man's room, everyone's mind goes to alone time. Oh, why did you look?
Because there's usually tissues, on the side there. Yeah, but not today. I remember one time I put up a YouTube vlog when I was younger, and someone commented, what are you doing with those tissues, mate? And like behind me in the vlog was like tissues.
It's not like we use tissues for our noses.
Crying.
Or
when we cry ourselves to sleep.
Right, work sometimes I do the old sweat wipe.
Do you have a big Dr. Energy moment of the week? Do you want to think of it for a little bit?
Nah, I got it, man. I got it.
You got it?
My big Doctor Energy episode highlight would be when it ended. I think the ending scene's cute where you see...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to be mean, but also bring it back to a good point.
Okay.
I think it was cool to see the TARDIS. Like, it reminded me of the old days. Like, it's very Tennant era to have someone's reaction to the TARDIS dematerializing with CGI leaves flying in the air.
You did notice they were CGI, yeah.
Mate, I'm like
CGI.
Even when I'm not like
CGI.
I'm like, okay, what can I name?
You're a CGI file.
What's that? What's this?
Hiding in the bushes looking at the CGI.
You know, when anyone criticizes this podcast, I'm like, why? This is so horrible. How could you do it? We're just trying here.
We're just two boys.
And then Dr. Who's like, we're just trying here. And I'm like, this was shite.
My runner-up for Big Dr. Andy was going to be just Graham's hat. Graham spends the whole episode wearing the Witchfinder hat.
And then Jodie steals it at the end.
Yeah. I love that. I enjoyed kind of the ending of them like going around doing the thing. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
like, why the fuck?
Say, what were they doing, Aidan?
I don't know.
Yeah,
they were going around with the torches.
Glad you enjoyed it,
and the torch magically was put in the mud away. Maybe this was the first Jodie Whittaker novel to get a episode to get a Target novel written about it. So
that is insane.
Well, maybe they were like
insane.
Maybe Chris was like, guys, we need to explain this.
That is
we need
insane.
the book to explain it.
I'm not going to say that's mean. I don't want to be mean. Because again, people make it and it's fine. I don't want to be known as a guy on the internet who hates too hard, but I was going to make a joke about how you couldn't pay me to read it, but I would read it if someone gave it to me.
Yeah, I'd be keen to read it.
Out of respect.
I love...
I'm so horrible. I'm sorry.
I love the witch trials as a vibe. I feel it was done pretty well in this episode.
The little Duncan booth.
The little Duncan booth. I love that. I'd love them to do like a Salem episode, like the Salem witch trials. I've always thought that...
Like Salem's Lot?
Like the Salem witch trials. I don't know what you're saying.
Mum, I love you, but the trailer's got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's Lot. It's a Stephen King book and movie.
It sounded like an Eminem rap. More
it is an Eminem song.
Oh my god! Yeah. But no, the Salem witch trials, and the witch trials here. I just think that's like an awesome, spooky period of time where people were like, witches are real, and they were like, anyone. They could be. But, there was like a time where they were like accusing everyone and their nan of being a witch. Quite literally, their nan being a witch. I
love how it's like, if you die, you're innocent. If you live, you're a witch. I'm like, that's such a horrible way to go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just dead. And they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk nicely about
her. What can you do? Yeah.
It's like just a corpse.
Yeah.
They used to like burn witches and stuff, and
that's just crazy. And I thought the start was great. I know there's like that slight contradictory thing, but I think that's the point where the doctor's like, I can't. Well, remember, the most important thing about time travel is that you cannot interfere with things. Then she goes and interferes. I think that was like an obvious intention thing. There's no way that it was like an accidental thing that she contradicts herself. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people gave shit for that scene.
Look, when it comes to this era, I think people are like, says me. But I've been very kind with this series so far. I think I'm allowed to,
criticize where you can.
Poo on a few episodes. I just think this episode was just very lackluster. Fans seem to love it, which is great. But this fan did not like it.
Not a happy Conor.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just found it so boring. Like, I was just like... wishing it was over.
You were like the Witchfinders.
And it put me in such a bad mood. I was like...
So...
should I watch something afterwards? I was like, no, I'm just going to go to bed. It sucked. I was just like, this sucks.
Alan Cummings as King James didn't win you over? Because I bloody loved him. I thought he was great.
Bro, I love Spy Kids, okay? How can I not like this episode? And that's the biggest question you need to ask yourselves, okay?
Yeah, I need to start asking myself that more
Spy
often.
Kids used to give me like nightmares. And it's mostly because of Alan Cummings. In a nice way. He used to terrify me. But that's okay. Because that was the point.
Well... I would like to bring back a little...
he's in Spy Kids, right?
I assumed that when you did that. I've not seen Spy Kids.
I think that's him. If it's not, you have to cut this entire part. I was going to think I'm an idiot.
No, we'll keep it in, because that way you're an idiot and you've just owned up to it.
Fuck, I'm going to like...
I would like to bring back...
I'm going to go on the Aidan and tour on YouTube and cut it out. I'm that petty.
Let's bring back a little bit of a segment where we like to peel behind the curtain and talk about...
I haven't done this in ages.
Behind the scenes! And the reason I wanted to is because the fun fact I've always remember from this episode when they did like the little behind the scene clips online was that they had to like reshoot a bunch of scenes because halfway through they were like shooting the reverse shots and then all of a sudden it started snowing. And so like the shots weren't matching because everything was just like getting snowed on. So yeah, they had to like reshoot a bunch of stuff.
It did look fucking cold.
It looked very cold.
And respect to...
Wet Jodie. Soggy Jodie. So, Jodie that has just jumped in the water.
I was going to...
You crude boy. Rude head.
If you were...
The look that you gave me, son. Do not blame me.
Are you in New Zealand now?
Yeah, I don't know. I just slipped back into...
missing that New Zealand kush.
Yeah, just pulled out a New Zealand side of me.
With respect to the older actress, not trying to be ageist.
Right. But yeah, she got wet.
People
Why are you old,
people who are old, they get a bit sensitive about... I feel sensitive about the cold, and I'm like 20. I'm 20.
And a little bitch.
I'm in my 20s.
What did you think of the...
Excuse me? I just caught onto that.
The mud villain. Did you like that?
Oh, bro, it's fantastic. Both hands in the air.
I liked it when it was just like a little threat, and then when they all went mud mode activate, then I was like,
We were trying to...
I am mud.
I'm like, what am I doing?
This is Doctor Who.
We are mud. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
We are mud from a prison.
We are.
They broke the tree.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that it literally is about. It's like one day I was chopping down a tree, and suddenly,
and the mud got me.
Yeah, and I went to bed, and I was like, oh, is it a comment on
mud?
No, is it a
treatment of mud?
No, is it a comment on like what do they call it? Like
environmentalists?
Yeah, like Leonardo DiCaprio. I was about to say bullshit. It's not bullshit.
Okay, when I think of environmentalists, I do not think of Leonardo DiCaprio. I know he is, but I don't.
You used to sim that he did that.
Yeah, good on him.
Like, I want to do a documentary about it because Leo did. I
did do a documentary on it, and then it ended up not being about environmental stuff and about socialists. But let's move on from that.
What's a socialist?
It's like a specific group of
they don't agree in
people.
They don't agree in climate change?
No, they very much agree in things like climate change.
Right, okay. Why is that a special
They
group,
can be a group that can often take things a little bit too far, which is what our documentary started to actually end up following, which was really interesting. And
I threw bricks into the mayor's house.
I did a bit of a Louis Theroux in that documentary, and I
love that. I love that.
Going around talking to them, and then one time we went along to one of their meetings, and they were like, "Yeah, we need to take all this stuff as far as we possibly can," and then I was like, "Guys, how far is too far?" And then they all were like, "Oh, what was that?" And I was like, I pat myself on the back. I was like, "That was brave, Aidan." I was very scared when I asked that question.
So why, when you say too far? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. Put it this way: we were filming protests and people getting arrested and stuff when we were there. Like, we were filming all this stuff.
Holy shit!
It was pretty cool.
Nuts.
I'd love to do more stuff like that. And that was like at uni.
That's awesome.
And as we actually got into stuff and it started unraveling, we went and we like showed rushes and started talking to our lecturers, and we're like, "This is actually like a thing, like that awesome. We're like unraveling here."
Wow.
And they were like, "Okay, look." They sat me and the producer down. They're like, "Look, you probably this is on you if you want to keep pursuing this." Because this could get a little bit spooky.
Well, yeah. Have you seen well, obviously, I think you've seen all of them. You've seen Lou for his Scientology movie?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he gets like followed and stuff?
Yeah.
So I just noticed something on my shoe.
Oh, that's great. Good podcast content.
Yeah.
But
that is scary, though. He's getting like followed and he's with like ex-Scientologists and they're like, my whole life is ruined now. They know that I'm trying to find out stuff, and it's like actually kind of scary, man.
Well, our like main lecturer ended up like just shadowing us, and we didn't even know that until at the very end. I was like, "Hey, that's our boy, unnamed teacher over there," and he ended up following us to the big protest that we were leading the whole documentary up to.
Or something.
Yeah, just like no, he actually mentioned to us like a week before. He was like, "Yeah, I've got like an infrared camera I want to test, so I might just go there and just see how it all looks on the infrared." And then I just saw him there with no camera in hand, just watching from the shadows, and I was like, "Oh, he's just being a good bloke, making sure his little 19-year-olds don't get beaten up."
What was his name?
I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
He's got a cool band though, called Electric State. They're actually doing very well.
No, my joke was going to be, or as the ladies call him, "Hey you behind the bushes."
Hey you behind the building, watching the documentary filming.
Aidan's doxing.
Anyways, that was a little segue, off-topic conversation, but
that's the band you went to go see at Thingy, wasn't it?
At what?
You went to go see his band perform before.
Well, we filmed a music video for him, so
that's right.
We premiered the music video, and he got me. I've seen him twice, and both times he's got me up on stage to sing with him. And
that was when you got. That's when the people thought you were anti-vaxxer because you got.
Oh my god!
When you got put on 9 News because they thought you were an anti-vaxxer. Remember that?
Yeah. So just to elaborate on that very quickly, it's so fucking funny that like during COVID there was like one pub that was saying like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to be checking vaccines. We're anti-vaxxers."
It was illegal, by the way. You had to check.
Yeah, so obviously there was a news report on it, and so that weekend before was when, and I didn't know about this whole anti-vax thing that they were on, but that weekend before was when we'd done the premiere at their pub, and so they were doing a concert, and I was on stage, and the video that 9 News used to like show this pub was me on stage singing, and I remember like the singer sent it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is the most ridiculous shit ever."
That is like the kind of thing you see in a TV show and go like, "Oh, as if like that wouldn't happen."
I know,
and it did.
It's so fucking funny,
I
man.
thought that was hilarious.
It's so good.
You posted on Instagram though. You were like, to clarify, like,
Yeah, I'm not.
well, you were vaccinated at the time.
Yeah,
weren't you?
definitely. Yeah,
like
vaccinated as soon as I could be, mate.
vaccinated and ready to fuck. They say.
That's what they all say. Last night on the Witchfinders is, I think Sigun's score was really impressive. I thought it was really good. See, I thought it was lit. There was so many times where I was like, he's got like the violins. He's like,
yeah, it's what he's doing with the violin. He's like, he got a piece of like 4x4 and he's going,
bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. What the fuck has this podcast come to?
Been too mean. By the way, I love the show. I love everyone in it. Like, I'm not trying to be. It says peace and love. You know, this is a serious message of peace and love.
Connor, let's bring back a segment that literally no one ever asked for.
Oh God.
What the boys watched this week, special edition.
Oh yeah. I might be all that you get. I guess this might well be it.
This week, we're doing a special edition of What the Boys Watched this week, purely because 3 of arguably some of the biggest shows of the last 5 years, maybe decade, have come to an end, or for Ted Lasso's case, a end ? Connor, I think just like a sentence or two.
Spoiler free?
Spoiler free, completely. So
okay.
If you want to watch these shows, maybe this can convince you. We got some more Doctor Who talk, and we're going to be answering your questions after this.
All right.
But let's just do very quick a little bit of the 50% of the 50% podcast. Right. Give me your thoughts. Let's start at the top of the week with Succession.
Okay, that's what I watched first. Succession final, absolutely loved it. Thought it was great.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Like literally a fat 10 out of 10.
Don't be rash. No, okay, whatever.
No, I love that show.
I'm just saying, like, I think in a sentence, like, amazing show. Is this the clock ticking? Oh
no,
God,
this is the Succession theme.
I thought it was great. Like, oh yeah, like I said, it was like an hour and a half, and it flew by. I think for a final, it was fantastic. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And I think the ending was surprising, shocking, heartbreaking. Everything that the show stands for. And I think it was incredibly satisfying. An amazing, well-written show. The way they just write dialogue in, like, the way people talk, but it doesn't seem cringy, or, like, whatever it is cringy, it's purposely cringy, and they
write purposeful cringe so well.
Exactly. And I think it was just... I think it's one of those shows where it's just, like, there is an episode that's bad.
Yeah.
There, I said it. And
the head writer is Jeremy Strong, who... Jesse Armstrong. Sorry, the main actor is Jeremy Strong.
Yeah, been a fan of him for years, actually. Jesse
Armstrong is the main writer, who you will know from Peep Show, The Thick of It, and a bunch of other TV shows.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's very funny, good drama, and the finale really, for me, ticked all the boxes I need. Literally every single one. That's good. 9 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 for me.
All right.
I've seriously ticked all the boxes. I think it's a great finale, and I think... Yeah. I think it's one of the best scored episodes of TV ever. I thought the soundtrack
the score is
awesome. You know, like when
so
the
great.
plot finally kicks off and they get off a plane.
Oh, I know.
And the score is like...
Everyone's on their phones.
We go... So good. All right, you've seen Barry. I've not watched the final season.
Yes.
I don't know if I intend to. But yeah, very quick thoughts on Barry's ending.
Wow.
Fat L. All right, moving on.
I thought... I loved the first 2 seasons of Barry. I thought it was like such fresh TV. I generally thought like, this is great. Like, this is so different. It's iconic.
I loved season 1, and I thought season 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, and then there was a huge break, and then COVID happened, so it was even a longer break, and then season 3 came out. I instantly noticed like a huge change in the show, and like narratively and all that.
Season 3 was an L for me.
I really didn't like season 3 very much. I think everything was kind of lacking. Granted, they did it through COVID, but even something like Flux was during COVID, and I loved that. So, you know, either way. Season 4, I think, was definitely a improvement on season 3, but I think the final was fine. I know people really liked it. I just think it had a very interesting ending. And I just think like 30 minutes to wrap up all these characters and plots was just not really going to go very well. And in my opinion, it didn't. It leaves a lot to the imagination. A lot of character arcs are kind of left in the air. And you're like, I guess we kind of have to like think about where they are and what they're doing. And that's for you to decide and Twitter to decide. And you can rewatch old episodes and see parallels, which I've seen on Twitter and stuff. But not a huge fan of the 3rd and 4th season. But I thought season 1 and 2 was great. Unfortunately now, this is not the kind of show I would recommend anymore. If it was season 1 and 2, I'd be like, watch it. And I used to do that. I was like, watch it. It's so good. I don't think I'd recommend it much anymore.
I think for me, season 1 had a fantastic premise. Season 2 played with it a little bit as well, which was good.
Yeah.
And then I just thought like it lost for me what was the most interesting part of the show.
Yes.
The more it progressed.
I agree.
It turned into a much more shooty bang bang to show about sort of a balance of 2 lives.
Pop.
For me, I think that just got lost along the way.
I agree. There was definitely a tonal shift.
Ted Lasso.
2 and 3.
Season 3. I know you've been
Barry, fine. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Ted Lasso season 3 also ended.
Yeah.
Possibly the final ever episode. It's the ending of their plan. They had a 3-season plan, and they've said they'll probably maybe do some more, but it'll be a new plan set up with some different things going on and probably some different cast involved in a few places. But I thought the finale was good.
Are you going to plug your show for your full thoughts?
Oh, of course. Ted Lasso post-match. Me and Vinny, who is a regular guest on the show, we spoke about this for an hour and 10 minutes about 2 hours ago. So,
not saying you can't say your thoughts here, but I'm saying...
Yeah, I go into deep thoughts in that podcast. I think this episode summarized a few of the problems of season 3, and I still enjoyed season 3. I think it's had some problems, and they've been consistent problems in the season. And I think the finale, all of those that problem had ramifications onto the finale with too many characters, too many plot lines, some places being left unresolved in places that they shouldn't be, some characters getting really shafted. But good focus on Ted. And I think that was really important considering where the story is going.
Yeah, I agree. Start the clock for 1 minute. I would say this, okay? Didn't really love season 3. Absolutely loved season 1 and 2. I would say if I was as much of a fan of it as I was between season 1 and 2, like having that feeling of how I felt about those 2 seasons, I would be like in tears with the final. But with season 3, personally, just me, it kind of really lost me. I didn't feel anyway near as connected to these characters. I just felt like it became like a bit of a trope show.
Because there's like a million characters in season 3 as well.
Don't hate me, but for me, I thought it was quite predictable.
Who was?
The final, I think, it's kind of like, the tropes, and you see it a lot in TV shows, and that's kind of what happened. But I think it's no way near a terrible show. I think there's so much love in that show.
Especially
it's really good.
If you compare it to other shows in that market, it is by far like one of the best.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess it's maybe my issue is that I maybe set my standards a little bit too high. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I thought the final was actually really satisfying. I think the only final I really had an issue with was Barry. And I think the problem is I watched the Barry final straight after Succession because they both aired in the same night on the same network, which is ridiculous. And
especially considering Succession was an hour and a half, so Barry was half an hour later than usual.
It was a bad idea, in my opinion, for HBO to do that because I could just not stop thinking about the Succession final. And I had that fear with Ted Lasso, but I think Ted did a good job at making me enjoy the final. Is it the final? Who knows? I can't say. But no, everything that you said, I agree with. I know you texted me last night about all the character stuff, and we can't really get into about with spoilers and stuff, but I totally agree with you.
Ted Lasso, the same. Final out of 10?
I would give it a 7.5.
Okay, I was going to hover between a 6 and a 7, and maybe that
6? Jesus.
Yeah, there's bits I really liked. Well, yeah, we shouldn't fist bump. We didn't.
Wait, what do you give it? Sorry?
Same. Between a 6 and a 7.
Okay, all right.
I go up and down. Last night when I was thinking about it, I started to really love it, but then today I woke up and felt a lot more iffy about it. But hey, that's fine.
I give it 6.5 footballs out of 10 footballs.
6 goals, 6 penalties out of 10 shots taken.
Sure.
6 goals out of 10 shots on goal. Sure.
Thank God they're all over. Nah.
No, I meant what the fuck is there to watch now?
I'm kidding.
Doctor Who. All right. I hope we didn't lose you all there.
They love it.
talk a little bit more about some Doctor Who? I hear you have some questions for us,
so
Conor.
thank you to everyone on Instagram who we love.
That's at 50 Doctor.
Instagram, it is at 50 Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some questions that you guys sent. Jesus, one person sent. Okay, fucking hell. All right, Vincent Blonde, who, by the way, DMs me every day on Instagram, and I'm sorry I don't reply every day. I've been too busy. This is a serious message of peace and love. If you DM me on Instagram and I don't reply, I'm sorry.
Do not use Instagram Messenger as well. Like I have like 10 unread messages on Instagram Messenger.
I know what it's like sometimes when you message someone like who you I don't want to say admire or appreciate, and they don't reply. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick. Anyway, what are the best Doctor Who outfits? For me, I'd say my favourite's like 12. I'd say 10, 11, 12, and 14. What about you?
I would say we can slow down now.
And 5.
I wanted to.
And 5.
I wanted to do those reviews quite quick.
We can to an hour.
Yeah, well, that's out the window. Well, no, we'll
what is going?
We'll wrap up in like 5-10 minutes.
No, I'm just saying because okay. I was just saying because I've got a lot of questions.
Don't stress. Like
I got a lot of questions. That's all.
All 3 of your Instagram followers.
It's not free.
You're the producer,
bro. Fucking Rusty Davis watched my Instagram story.
Wow, that makes you a producer. That's how that works.
No, I produce a show with you.
Yeah, we co-produce, mate.
I'd say, what is that? What the fuck? What is in this bag today?
I've just whipped out a rosé because this was brought to me by a client after I shot their wedding.
What's it called? Piggies?
It is 16 Little Black Pigs. It's a South Australian rosé that they brought from South Australia.
12 monkeys? Okay.
16 Little Black Pigs. That's what it's called. And I don't really drink rosé, but I've been meaning to have a drop for a while of it. And I took it to a party and then figured out that I actually took my mum's rosé. And so after wanting to drink this for ages just to get it out of the way, I ended up drinking my mum's rosé. So then I had to buy mum a rosé and still had this in the fridge. So figured I'd crack it open today, have a splash.
Were you drinking 12? What's it called? 12?
16 Little Black Pigs. That's such a curious name.
I love all the costumes, actually, come to think of it. I probably add the 5th Doctor's in there as well. And the 4th.
Are they talking specifically Doctor costumes? Or?
Yeah, what are the best Doctor outfits?
For me, it's hands down Matt Smith's Series 7B costume. I think the long dark coat, I think is awesome. And yeah, 12's red velvet jacket. You can't go past that.
I touched that in real life.
Yes.
And it was glorious. And no one at the Doctor Who experience, they tell you after you touch the stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I felt like saying to them? It's all going to go in a box in like a month because you're closing down. Who cares if I touch it? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? This is from Vincent Blonde as well. What are your thoughts? Sorry, what are your hopes for season 14 and for Shooty?
Good.
Yeah, I just hope we go back to what we love about the show, and I think Shooty's perfect casting. I don't think we have to worry about him at all, and I think we're in really safe hands. I just hope we just get to a point where we're just like so excited for each week,
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing I want is just to be moved by it more because
me too. Yeah.
I think as much as I enjoy some eras of Whittaker's era, I just don't think I was moved by it as much as I have been the previous 2 eras, and so just like episodes that will make me have a tear if I'm a bit drunk or something because I'm a man and I can't
only when I'm drunk,
cry when I'm sober. But because for me it's like only really the Power of the Doctor is the only episode that might do that to me, and it's not really Jodie's scenes other than the last scene that kind of evoked that. It's more the
Adric
the Adric scene with Peter Davison. So that's it to be moved. What's your next question?
For episode,
you actually do have quite a few questions there.
For episode, oh god, we can't do this. For episode for each Doctor.
For each Doctor? Fuck me. We'll just do New Who.
New Who, yeah. I guess Eccleston's definitely Enter Child Doctor Dances, which is my favourite of episode ever. 10's going to be Wars of Mars. Mm-hmm. Matt will be... I can't think. Peter's definitely Heaven Sent. And Jodie, I'd say probably Power of the Doctor. And you go, I'll think about Matt's for you.
I would say... I kind of want to say maybe the finale just gets me up and about the most. Mm-hmm. But also Dalek and Father's Day season 1's just so fucking good, it's hard to pick. Definitely Waters of Mars for 10th Doctor. For Matt, I mean, if I'm looking purely on how much I'm going to enjoy it, Bells of St. John, that's just silly, and I just have such a romp every time I watch it.
Yeah.
And PCAT, in terms of... Favorite? You know, I've been thinking about this a lot. I think that Deep Breath, man, could be my favorite PCAP story. I think Heaven Sent's the better crafted one.
Bruh.
But I think I like enjoy watching Deep Breath so much. Like, so much. I love that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jodie?
Oh, Babyface the Raven. And Jodie, oh, fuck, yeah. Probably Power of the Doc.
Yeah, Power's great.
Yeah. Either Power or like maybe even the Halloween Apocalypse, just based on like how exciting that was. Like, it's not a good episode, but it's exciting and fun.
It's pretty good.
It's good, but it's like...
It sounds like a piece of dog shit. It's a shit episode.
It's an acid trip. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's like
much. Yeah.
Ping is going off everywhere, mate.
Ping is an acid? Okay.
Yeah.
For Matt, I'd have to say probably the 50th. I know it's a lame answer, but I can't think.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an episode that you hated but now you love?
Ah, okay. They're stealing questions from our Who to Be Buried With. I would say an episode I hated but I now love. That's a fucking tough question and a good question.
For me, it would be The Girl Who Waited. I thought it was a boring piece of trash when I was younger. Now I love it.
I don't know if I don't love this episode, but I'd say one of the episodes I've had the biggest change of opinion on has been Hellbent, where it's like I used to think it was trash, but now it's like I'm actually moved by the ending of it, and I think a lot of it is really fun. I think it's kind of meandering in parts and doesn't really know what it's doing for a lot of it, but I definitely enjoy that episode far more than I did in the past.
Okay.
It's probably a better example than that, but yeah.
Which monster should never return? The Exorbiloff. Nah, I'd love to see him return. Tim Shaw, awful
I might get
villain.
shot in the head for this, but maybe the Sontarans?
Why?
I just don't know how much you can do with the fucking potatoes, man.
You're raisinist.
Yeah, that's me. I hate raisins.
Raisin heads. Come on, bro. What the hell?
I just think like they're just like any other monster threat, and like they got like a really good run in Chibnall's era.
Though.
They look good, but I'm like,
so good.
And then you've got them going, yeah, chocolate.
Dan Starkey, isn't it? It's like chocolate.
But like, think about it. Like anything you do with the Sontarans, you could do with like any other creature in Doctor Who.
That is quite controversial. Do you think Heaven Sent would have worked with another Doctor? I think so, but I think what makes it so great is that Pete is in it.
I don't think anyone has the same, and they all have gravity in different ways. I don't think anyone has a gravity that's in the same realm as Capaldi in terms of how he like commands a scream. He has like this wiseness about him. He just has this aura, and I think that aura is so specific. Like, this episode was written for Capaldi,
exactly,
and I don't think it would be the same episode with a different Doctor. I think that they could do a similar episode, but it would have to be written for that Doctor.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think they could do it, but I think the script would change massively. But
if
we're going off that episode alone, yeah, I think Pete's
I think any of the Doctors could have done like a one, especially like David and PCAP could have done like a solo performance episode. You know what I mean? Like they're the only actor involved. What's the next question? Rosé's good, by the way.
Let's go. Which episode ending would you rewrite? It's a great question. That's from J. Thomas Greaves.
Right. Good question. Very good question. What would we like to rewrite?
I'd say with Hellbent, I think Clara should have stayed dead.
Oh, like we watch her return to her death at the end? That would be really cool. I'd like that.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm actually remembering stuff tonight. Sometimes I don't, but...
I think... You know, you look at things like Power of 3 and that kind of run of episodes where everything got so rushed in the last 5 minutes. I think around season 7 was when that was happening quite a lot. I think, that I can't sort of pinpoint specific ones around there, but I think that like late season 6, maybe the Wedding of River Song, maybe. You know what the obvious answer is? Timeless Child.
Yeah, look, as much as I wish I could, I feel like it's such a moment in history now. What?
Sorry, I just smacked your leg.
Oh.
The one with the cancer diagnosis with Jodie.
Talk to me. No.
No. Can you hear me?
Raka Brothers film.
Is it? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. When Graham
you should watch that, by the way. The one.
Graham talks to Jodie.
Yeah, about the cancer. Yeah,
He's
that's gonna be
scared
such an interesting convo.
I know some people are okay with it, and I understand that Chips had the right intentions with it, but I just think the way it did come off was just so wrong.
Every month that comes up again, and everyone's like, rah.
But yeah, I just think that's
Dylan says least favorite song from your favorite album.
Oh, we're going off Doctor Who.
I don't know if I can name my favorite album, but I guess there are albums from artists that I love, which I guess I could pick one from and say. I know you love which I got you into, Dylan. Not trying to take credit, but Since I Left You by the Avalanches, which I think is a masterpiece, an Australian group. I don't think I can name a song there I don't like. I guess if we're going off sure, we'll go off Coldplay, or as Aidan calls them, Doleplay.
Shit play.
Brilliant. I guess if we're going off one of my favorite albums from Coldplay, Viva La Vida, their album's very special to me. There's a song on there called Yes, which I think is dog shit. I just don't understand why it's on the album.
Yes.
It's just a bad song, and it just doesn't fit the album. And I always skip it. Even on the vinyl, I'm like, I try to sit when the vinyl plays. I always try and play the album. I skip it. I just think it's boring. It's slow. It doesn't fit the album. It's the lyrics are just cringe. And I know you think all Coldplay lyrics are cringe. But
yeah.
Me.
I'd say my favorite album.
More like.
Yeah, my favorite album is probably the Glitter Bug by the Wombats. It's just very my youth, very that vibe. And
I'm drinking and I like a girl, but she doesn't like me, and I can tell.
My thing is I think the first half of the album, and I think this is a common thing with most of my favorite albums, is the first half is so fucking good, and every song's banger after banger. They all sound different. And I'm not going to name a specific song, and I don't think any of the songs are particularly bad, but the second half of the album I just get a little bit bored because I think a lot of the songs start to sound the same. You know what I mean?
I was drinking last night and I got a bit drunk, and then I met a man, and then I gave him a punch.
I'm drunk and I'm at a festival and I'm doing drugs.
Well, this is an album that we both
love.
Girls
and drugs. Doing girls and drugs. It's the Wombats.
Do you know what show?
The Heist.
Yeah, The Heist. No, that's not what I was thinking of. But yeah, do you know Shelvin? Sorry, you know what Shelvin is? Yeah. Anyway, so The Heist is an album that we both love. What's your least favorite track from The Heist? Probably Bomb Bomb, Miss B.
Bomb Bomb's a bomb.
Yeah, because I remember you messaged me. He's like, "What's that song?" And I'm like, it's Bomb Bomb.
I was like, "What's that song?" Because it's a fucking bomb.
That's what I'm saying, but there's no lyrics in it. And I guess if I had to pick one, it would probably be that. Or Thrift Shop. Thrift Shop sucks. I like it, but it's this.
Yeah.
It's not how you should judge the album. I know people hate The Heist. I understand why.
Heist lit.
Kendrick should have won. I get it. I agree with you.
Well, then I don't give a fuck enough about this conversation.
What's yours? Thrift Shop.
Yeah, I'd probably go Thrift Shop. I'm actually not familiar enough with The Heist to list off every song.
Fuck you. Anyway, this one's for me.
Maybe Cowboy Boots. I only said that because I knew it would wind you up. I'm kidding. Cowboy Boots is a good song. Sometimes.
Don't you dare say that again.
Next question.
Final question. This is just for me, I guess, because you've not seen it. Furies for Severance Season 2.
Well, I can't talk about that without spoiling it.
I'm not going to spoil it. I think they got a really interesting premise for Season 2.
Everyone dies.
I don't know, and I think that's the exciting thing. I think Ben Stiller is amazing at directing it. I never thought I'd say that. And Adam Scott, I've always been a fan of him, and I think he's fantastic in the role.
Slay.
So yeah, and John Turturro's in it, who I love, and yeah, I just think I'm very excited for it. It's a very spooky show, and the scary thing about it is we're not that far away from living in a world like Severance. I think we'll have something like that in the future, where you go to work and you forget about your life outside of work, and then when you go to work, you forget about your life.
That would be so handy, doing this podcast and had a shit day at work. Walk in the door here, and we'll be like.
It wouldn't be
podcast move.
Because you'll see, because you don't know if you have a relationship, you don't know if you're...
So you could have an affair that you don't know about at work. Is that what you're saying?
Not to spoil anything, but that kind of thing does become a thing. It's relationships start to happen, but you might see in the real life that they have. You wouldn't know you had a partner or a dog or what car you have or what your parents look like or your sister or your brother or your gran. You wouldn't know anything. And I think it's such an interesting... It's like for Apple TV, which I think the only two good shows they've ever done is Ted Lasso and Severance.
I'd like to check out Shrinking.
Oh, that's the new Bill Lawrence thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's got Harry Ford and Jason fucking...
My boy...
Hess something.
Yeah.
Not Statham.
Jason Segel. And Brett Goldstein created it as well.
Oh, I'm going to watch it then.
Isn't
he in How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, he's the main guy. Well, not the main guy, but he's one of the main five in How I Met Your Mother.
It's time to suit up.
You're talking about...
The Giggle.
Hey, what's his name? The fucking... The man?
The
toy maker.
Let's squeeze another clip out. Stinky the Dummy.
Okay.
We're so good.
Witchfinders out of 10, Conor.
Hey, pal.
Hey.
Aidan's like, never touch me again.
Don't hunt date.
I'm going to give it a 4.
What?
Sucks.
Sorry, that was screamed. I've been so good with my levels in the microphone today.
Sorry.
You giving it a 4? You think that's a failure of an episode, Conor?
Bro, it was so fucking boring.
I'm giving it a fat...
I'm literally falling asleep right now talking about it.
6.5.
We were a fucking simp 0.5. How about that?
I enjoyed it, and I'm not fucking ashamed of it, okay?
Alright, guys, we appreciate you. If you don't donate to our Ko-Fi, we won't show up next week. I'm kidding. No, we love you. Thank you so much.
But you
I'm joking.
You can donate to the
if you want to. Yeah, we're not mad.
Ko-Fi? Ko-Fi? You got a Ko-Fi?
What's it called?
I thought it was a Ko-Fi.
I don't even know. Oh, is it Ko-Fi?
Like coffee.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
shows how much I research. Yeah, I saw a guy I know who does podcasts. He did it, and no one did it. So I was like, that sucks.
Yeah. Well...
So watch that be us.
It's an option if you like it. Cheers, Conor.
Yeah, mate, I'm out, but...
He's out. You finished all your drinks tonight?
No, I got some in there.
Yeah, bargain. We love you all. Thank you very much, and we'll be back next week for It Takes You...
Dude, we're nearly done with season 11.
Yeah, we are, baby.
Bro, this is weird. We only got one season left, and then we're...
Blah.
We're fucked. We're on the streets. We're not doing anything.
No work.
On box.
Yeah. I'm like, we'll touch...
We'll dock.
Yeah, I was trying to find like a will do something for money, but then I was like, I don't want to...
for money, yeah.
I don't want to like make fun of people that have like people in that line of work. And so I was like, oh, fuck, I'm just being a shit bloke now, aren't I? All right, guys, let's sing the song. Let's get this fucking over with.
By the way, one thing real quick is that next week is actually our 3rd year anniversary of the podcast. So, or is that this week?
This episode will actually be the one that comes out.
Oh, fuck me. Of course it will.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So we probably should have said that at the start of the video.
And we love you.
That's why I got you a Guinness.
Oh, thank you. Really?
No.
And if you don't support our Ko-Fi after 3 years of pain...
Fuck me, guys.
You're not a fan of the show.
Honestly.
We love you.
Fuck. I don't care about your economic situation.
I don't care if you're on your last dollar. Give it to me.
Yeah.
And Ko-Fi will probably take like... Is it Ko-Fi? We'll take probably 30% of it, so we'll get 70 cents. And that 70 cents, we'll have to split between the two of us, which is what? 37.5%?
Yeah. And I get like 95% of it because...
Yeah. For doing
I'm the main producer here.
Exporting a video and uploading it?
I edit it.
I did the clips.
I pay for fucking Zoom.
Yeah,
I pay for the editing software. I can't say
I
make the run sheets. I make the thumbnails.
I
provide myself here.
I did the
yeah, nice.
Clips.
You can't even. Yeah.
I did more than that.
Oh yeah. I'm kidding.
This, folks, is what it's like behind the scenes. Send help. I'm the new Britney.
Can you hurry up and sing the song?
Yeah, okay.
Now.
It's Aidan, Connor's podcast. Reviews for 3 years. Look how far we've come.
We're still just as bad as we were from the start.
Look how far we've come. I'm at a festival and I'm doing drugs and I see a girl over there and she wants to tuck me off behind the bins and I think to myself what a sin it's gonna be, but what can I do?
It's the Wombats at the bar in Tokyo.